This video is for both readers and writers. I'll touch on both things. All right, so let me just start things off by saying that if you've been following my channel because you're awesome and you have clicked the subscribe button, you probably have figured out that my book review videos have kind of tapered off. And that's not just because they do horrible in the algorithm. It's because I've actually been struggling to find the time to read as much as I would like to be doing right now. I'm just packing in too many other things right now, such as growing, making videos, unfortunately. Catch-22, right? But what that has led to is I've had to turn down multiple people now that have reached out to me privately, asking me to beta read, to alpha read, to critique or edit, or just review their finished and completed product, because I've had to turn that on. I just don't have the time. I have things I've already committed to, like the book club, which I'll come back to, the link in the description, that I have to prioritize. And I feel bad doing that. Because for aspiring creators, such as myself, I do consider myself aspiring, it can be incredibly hard to get feedback. And the fundamental way that happens in the very beginning is beta reading, alpha reading. It's feedback on incomplete products, unpublished works. And without feedback, you basically can't grow. And if you can't get that feedback, you end up stuck. And that kind of causes a lot of burnout and problems. I see it in a lot of creators. They just can't get people to help them. And that's what they feel they need. And they're basically correct. Now, the reason they can't is basically because it sucks to beta read. You are asking somebody to spend their time and effort to provide you their opinion, which, let's be real, most people that you are going to get approached about beta reading don't consider themselves qualified to comment. That's presumably why I get reached out so often, is people think I'm qualified, even though you should be able to look at my sales right now and you'd realize otherwise. Anyways, so they don't want to speak with authority to someone that has put in a lot of effort, especially when they produced something bad. And then really that's what happens often. It's an incomplete product. You're asking somebody to read something that you think is not good enough to charge for, when they could be spending their time and effort reading something that is good enough, that somebody else helped get good, for basically no reason. It is unfortunately the harsh truth. There really is no reason to help somebody in beta read their work, except for the fact that you're helping them and you can feel good about that fact. Now, if you yourself are a creator, you will actually benefit a lot from beta reading other people's work, to a certain extent, because you will have to see an unfinished, flawed product. You will read it, you will analyze it, and then you have to try and explain what the issue is. If you have learned anything about how to learn things, analysis, explanation, breaking something down into words that other people can understand and repeat back to you, essentially, is like the final way that you learn things. You have to do that in order to hit like peak creative power. This is why the best way for a creator to get feedback is quid pro quo. And that's my first piece of advice. There are other creators trying to get beta readers, and you just say, you read mine, I'll read yours. Because you probably both have crap. Let's be real here. If you've written something good, people will probably be surprised that you're asking for beta readers, and then they'll pile through it, and they'll be happy that you did, assuming that they are readers. Don't forget, you are still fighting against the problem that most people don't read anymore. You have to think about getting a beta reader as basically trying to sell your book to somebody, except it's 10 times harder, because you're not even saying that it's good yet or good enough yet. And not to mention, there's this weird flaw of, if you're sending something out for beta reading, you don't have cover art, you don't have a blurb, there's no marketing, you're just giving them text and maybe you've talked to them about it, maybe, but it's not the reader experience that is what's successful about novels. It's wrong and broken. And the person doing the work really isn't going to be getting much unless they're also a creator. So this is why the traditional advice is to form what's called a writer circle, which is a group of creators. All write stuff. They all submit it to each other. They all pass it around. They all read each other's stuff. They all give their feedback. They all discuss it. They analyze it. They help each other. They get better. And that's incredibly helpful if you have people on the same wavelength as you, which if you are a very aggressive, uh, aggressive rate of production, you will struggle. That I can't get a writing group to work because it's almost impossible to find somebody else that writes every day and has the time for a writing group. Basically doesn't exist. But I don't struggle with beta readers anymore, and I'll come back to that. But then, okay, so I tell people just get a writing group, and they just well, but James, how do you get a writing group? And it's literally the exact same problem. And the secret is that the people that struggle with getting beta readers and writing groups and feedback and all that, 9 times out of 10, if they're talking to me about it, it's because they don't talk to people. That's the flat out truth. If you want people to read your stuff, be it selling books or beta reading your short story submission or something or whatever, or hearing out your idea that you have because you're not confident with your own ideas yet. If you don't talk to people, like even in period, if you don't talk at all, like why would anybody care about you if they don't know you? That's why basically social media is mandatory, in my opinion, to succeed as a creator nowadays, is because people want to engage with you. So in preparation for this video, I went to a number of Discord and Guilded servers and communities that I am connected to at various levels of engagement, just to confirm the basic hypothesis I had, which is, you want people to help you? People need to know who you are and like you. So you do need to actually be nice to people, at least enough. Depends on the community. Some places are toxic. I copy pasted the exact same message in multiple places and basically ranked them from how well the people there knew me to if I just lurk the meme channel and occasionally show my stuff as like a complete parasite. And guess what? It's exactly what you expect. The servers where nobody knows me, completely ignored. The servers where I'm sharing memes and talking and helping people all the time, boom. I got multiple beta readers just by asking. It is that easy. With a caveat, this is where I want to encourage beta readers on something fairly specific. You should probably be more willing to volunteer, because I want to break this idea that if you agree to beta read somebody's story, you have intrinsically agreed to read the entire thing. Please, everyone, normalize not finishing a beta read. Now, please tell the author why. Like, if you just get into it and you're like, bruh, like, this is supposed to be a romance, but I want every single character to die. Just tell the author that. They need to know that. They need to know why people are checking out. That is arguably more valuable information to the writer than struggling all the way through and trying to protect their feelings. If you're trying to protect their feelings as a beta reader, like okay, maybe some people you need to protect their feelings. Me, for example, no. If I think my beta readers are just trying to like suck up to me, I stop giving them things. I need beta readers that will challenge me on my decisions, because I'm trying to improve. That's the point of asking people to look at my manuscripts and give me feedback. Another thing on the of how to beta read, basically, I've seen so many people think it's copy editing. And look, nobody is going to turn down free copy editing, but that's grueling. It's something that people normally have to pay people to do because it sucks to do. Beta reading should not be looked at as volunteer slave labor. Which, okay, that's an oxymoron, but you get my point. What a writer genuinely needs from a beta reader is the high-level engagement experience. They need to know, yeah, I was flying through this. I couldn't put this down. I like this character. I hate that character. I was confused here. This power system doesn't make sense. This made no sense. Oh, hey, this was just like that. Oh, this was funny. This wasn't. I cried here. They need those kinds of feedbacks. They don't need to hear about Oxford commas. They don't need you to point out every time they use the wrong there instead of there. A good author should be able to find all that on their own afterwards. And it's perfectly normal for a writer to give a book that is a little rough in the copy editing, because basically it shouldn't interfere with your ability to beta read it. If it's so terrible that you can't read it, I've definitely had stories like that given to me in the past. Okay, there are limits, but the reason writers don't want to fully polish everything before they give it over, and you're going to see typos when you're beta reading, is because they're expecting to have to rewrite massive portions of it, which is a shit ton of work for them that they will get nothing out of. Because if for example, I hand someone my cyberpunk romance story and I go, "Ugh, looks, I didn't get to a deep enough connection between these characters. Somewhere in this plot, she needs to break down crying and get comforted. Like, I need to have that plot point somewhere in this plot trajectory. I just don't know what to change yet." So if I think, oh, it's probably when she's seeing her brother, I'm not going to copy edit that section because I'm assuming it's going to get deleted. Why would I copy edit that? So, long-winded way of saying, like, expect typos, but it should still be legible. Writers, it has to be easy to read. What's important is the engagement points. And even if it's, I couldn't finish the story, it sucked, man. You just have to tell the writer that. And if you get through the first page and say, hey, I thought this was a good hook. I was looking, you set this up and I wanted to know this, because that's all you have time for. All you had is 5 minutes when someone went to, the group chat and said, hey guys, I just finished this story, I could use some feedback. All you have is 30 seconds to look at their first page. You can give them a useful response on the first page. You think they're going to be upset? Maybe you'll stumble upon something fantastic and you'll want to read the full thing. Never know. And at least in that scenario, you're getting a chance at a story for free generally. May even be paying you or reimbursing you some other way. Now, obviously, writers can go to a service like Fiverr and pay people to beta read their product. I don't trust that personally, because if you are paying somebody for their opinion on your writing, you will always get some variation of, it's great, man. However, I think if you changed X, Y, and Z, it could be better. Because they're trying to get paid again. They might be accurate, but they're never going to tell you, oh, this is a slam dunk, this is perfect. You wasted your money by hiring me. You're never going to hear that if you're paying them for their feedback. Likewise, if it's garbage, they're going to still go through it and tell you that it was okay. And you're just going to always get, yeah, it was good, but however. So that's why I don't pay beta readers over on Fiverr. But some people have to. And some people choose to, just because they think they're, like, if you are actually at the point of, it's good, but, then paying someone is, like, exactly the feedback you're looking to get. And maybe that works for you, or whoever. But so that's the job of beta readers. That's the reason you can beta read. You can discover stuff for free. Maybe you're getting reimbursed. You're getting a look behind the scenes. But hey, maybe you don't want to do that. I'm sympathetic to that, because if you really enjoy magic shows, you probably don't want to know how the tricks work necessarily. And that brings me back to authors. You gotta talk to people. If you want to find these absolute wonders out there that will help you because they want to check out your story, they want to support you because they like you, that's called having a low grade friend, basically, like a low connection friend. That's what it is. You gotta think about them like that. They are helping you because they enjoy it, basically. You need to respect that too, that you need to make sure you're giving them a good product. You're asking for people's time and effort that they could be putting literally anywhere else. Now, for all that explanation, I hope I've changed some illusions that people have about how hard it is to beta read or something, or, oh, what if I'm not qualified, or I don't normally read this genre. No, that's... Tell the author, hey, I don't read this genre, however, but an author is trying to sell their book to everybody. They want to know how everybody is going to react to it. And maybe they go, well, I really don't care what a 70-year-old woman thinks about my book about cat girl video games. Like, I'm not selling to 70-year-old women. So they're not going to take that seriously. Which brings me to my last point. The most important feature that a beta reader can have to be a good beta reader is the acceptance that just because they gave a piece of advice to that author doesn't mean that advice is going to be taken. It might be stupid. It's probably really stupid. I have another video that hopefully I'll be smart enough to link as about how to give good critique, which is different from beta reading, believe it or not. But beta readers, like in general, like the rule of thumb is they'll be able to identify that something's wrong, but they won't know how to fix that something. So probably reason out your position, but don't expect to be taken literally. The beta reading process is not a committee writing a single book. Author is solely responsible for the final product moving forward. If they don't have their hopes and dreams broken, they give up and vanish from off the face of the earth. Has happened. But this is my call to action now, because I've had my rant about all this. As I mentioned, I went to a bunch of different communities. I went to YouTubers' communities. So, personally, I have a book club, which I show all the time. This month is Neuromancer by William Gibson. We'll be having a live stream at around New Year's for anyone that has read the book, freshened up on it, and wants to have a discussion and hopefully have something to advertise, because it's supposed to help indie creators. That means I have a Guilded server for talking about the book club. There is also a channel there for creators to connect with each other and organize beta reading and feedback and critique and help each other. It's a small Guilded right now, but please hop on in. It's free. You just have to prove you're not a bot. If you are another YouTuber, I want you to share this around and say, yeah, me. I've got a server where I want to see the independent creators helping each other, or consumers helping those independent creators, because a lot of people out there are pretty good-willed about this. There's a lot of people that want to see a resurgence of grassroots creatives driving the culture. So own up to it. Share this video, guys. Say you are the one with the community that is going to support creatives. Now, in general, you're not looking for like the super huge ones. Like, you probably shouldn't just post on Twitter asking for beta readers. That's too big. And obviously, if it's too small, you're hitting up one person hoping that they have the time to critique your work. You're really putting someone on the spot like that. But until then, I'm James Craig. I'm a science fiction author. I have this lovely shill. I do publish my own books, which now I will finally explain. One of the nice things about publishing books is if you've written good stuff that people enjoy, like I said in previous videos, that you should probably be on social media somehow so that fans can get a hold of you. Because those are the best people to ask to beta read your future products, because they already like what you make. You're offering them more for free, even. Yeah, I have people that enjoy my books, and they help me out with future projects. It's really that simple. What can I say? Buy my book, please. I need more beta readers. Always more beta readers. I've got enough, but not enough. Till then, hit the like button.